So we've officially gotten 4 of the Nightmare Critters so far for Chapter 4, but there's actually been some drama surrounding these brand new characters, and that's not all I'm going to be going over today, because it seems like Mob Entertainment wants to have heavy lore for Chapter 4. So for the Chapter 4 ARG, they've actually been sending stuff to people's houses, including some secrets that could be in Chapter 4. But let's start off with the Nightmare Critters drama. So ever since the Poppy Playtime Chapter 4 teaser came out, every day since then, we've been getting one new Nightmare Critter every single day, revealing what their personality is and what they look like. The ones we've gotten so far are Baba Chops, Icky Licky, Raby Baby, and Alistair Gator. But when these photos were first starting to come out, there's something you might have noticed about them, and how it's that they look kind of weird. And honestly, I did notice this when we got the first poster for Baba Chops. I felt like there was something off about the character, and it wasn't that we already had the Smiling Critters in Chapter 3, but that is something people are also mad about, saying that the reason the fans like the Smiling Critters so much is because they were something new, but now they're just doing the same thing again for Chapter 4. But now we know why these characters looked so weird at first, and it's because instead of using the final designs for these characters, they were actually using the sketches on accident. And you may not see a difference between these two at first, but if you zoom in on the tongues, you can see they're way different. And the newer version has these weird cartoon lines. I think they look a lot better, and the outlines on the character don't look as rough, and they look a lot more smooth like an official Mob Entertainment character. And because these were the first glimpses we got of these new Nightmare Critters, it left a bad taste in people's mouths for them. I think people are going to ease up on the Nightmare Critters more and be more open-minded to it. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Do you think it was smart for Mob Entertainment to make the Nightmare Critters for Chapter 4? Or should they have just done something totally original and new? Let me know in the comments. But we also got some other updates about the Nightmare Critters in general, which I'll go over now. But like I said, ever since Tuesday, we've been getting one new Nightmare Critter every single day. But the first piece of news I'm going to go over is what we can expect for the following days. Tyler, one of the devs in the Poppy Playtime Discord server, said, also, setting expectations, we won't be sharing another Nightmare Critter until Monday. Mods and admins assistants, enjoy your break. So it seems like Mob Entertainment is taking a break on the weekend from revealing new Nightmare Critters, and Monday is when we'll be getting our next one. And I know that sucks for a lot of people that have school, and these get revealed during school hours. But it seems like Mob Entertainment is just taking a short break, and then we'll get to know who the rest of the Nightmare Critters are, however many there are left. If I had to take a guess, I would say there's 8, just like the Smiling Critters. Because something else Tyler said in the Discord server is that it was very popular in the 90s and 2000s to have anti-versions of the main characters in shows. So maybe these were going to be the villains for the Smiling Critters TV show before it got canceled. So if they were the anti-versions of the original Smiling Critters, it would make sense to have the same number, that being 8. So that means that there's 4 more Nightmare Critters we haven't gotten to know yet, and we'll get to know the last one on Thursday. But something else in the Poppy Playtime Discord server and on Twitter people were saying about the Nightmare Critters is that some of the names aren't really the best, Raby Baby being my personal least favorite. Well, what do the Poppy Playtime devs actually think of these names? Tyler said, I hate Raby Baby's name so much, and I fought to change it, lol. So it seems like I'm not alone in saying that Raby Baby's name is pretty weird, and honestly I would have preferred something having to do with a bat, because that's what this character actually is. And a different dev, Toby, said this, I'm not a huge fan of some names either, but trademarks are a thing. He didn't say which names he's not a fan of, but he said some, so it's definitely more than one, probably one that we haven't seen yet, and one that's going to be revealed sometime next week. But also, I want to bring up something else Toby said real quick, and he could just be joking about this, but I want to bring it up here just in case he's not. But right after Toby said that last message I went over, somebody said, while Icky Licky is a strange name, I kind of wish the design had a long tongue or something. Y'all gave the bat some fangs, can't y'all give a frog a long tongue? And this does make sense for Icky Licky to have a long tongue, maybe this is how he'll fight us in the game. But Toby actually responded and said, maybe he has, he didn't show it yet. So this is hinting that Icky Licky might have a super long tongue he could use to fight against us in the game. And I'm almost 100% sure that all these Nightmare Critters are going to be evil. We only got to see Catnap and Dog Day in the game, and it seemed like if Dog Day had legs, he would help us. And Catnap was obviously the main villain of Chapter 3. But I'm hoping for Chapter 4, all of the Nightmare Critters can have a time to shine, and we won't just get to see 1 or 2 throughout the entire game. So if Icky Licky is actually a giant monster we have to fight in the game, fighting against a monster with a giant tongue will be a pretty fun boss fight. But now, let's move on to what Mob Entertainment is sending to people's houses. So after that last message was put in the Discord server, something really weird started to happen in it. Toby said, something might be happening, keep an eye out, with a winking emoji. Obviously we know that no new Nightmare Critters are going to get revealed until Monday, so what else could he be talking about? And he also left a different message with 8 pairs of eyes. And this actually lines up perfectly with my theory of there being 8 Nightmare Critters, but if you really want to pause the video and count them out, there's 16 eyes, meaning there's 8 pairs, 2 for each Nightmare Critter, proving that there will be 8 Nightmare Critters in Chapter 4. And then Nized, a different Poppy Playtime YouTuber that actually knows a bunch of the devs and interviewed one at one point, said, "You guys might want to check my Twitter," with a smiley face. And if we actually go over to his Twitter, he said, "Interesting," with a hammer emoji and 2 photos showing off a card and a poster. And it turns out these were actually sent to him by Mob Entertainment, and these are actually Chapter 4 teasers that I'm going to go over now. And I'm pretty sure this is not the only person that Mob Entertainment is sending these to. I'm pretty sure a couple other people in the Mob Entertainment Partners in Crime program also got sent one of these. But on the first page, we see a logo that says Warren Batch Construction. And the logo looks to be a tire with maybe some lightning bolt going through it, or whatever that's supposed to be. And honestly, we can't really get a lot from this logo, so let's see what else they sent. But next, there's a poster that says, "Here for all your dirtiest jobs, Warren Batch Construction. Don't worry, we like the dirt. Small family-owned and operated business since 1930. Contact Warren Batch Construction. We'll do the job quickly and cleanly." And then we see a man holding some type of crowbar, it looks like. And he seems to be a type of construction worker, and we can't really see what he's doing with the crowbar. But here's what we know so far. There's a company that's here for all your dirtiest jobs, whatever that means. And obviously we know that Playtime Co. is a very shady company in this universe, obviously turning people into monsters and killing orphans. And we can see on the photo it says, "Small family-owned and operated business since 1930. And the 1900s in this universe is exactly when Playtime Co. was opened and was a thriving business. But the next page has a lot on it, so I'm going to go over it now. "Dear Warren Batch Construction Company, this is Eddie responding once again on behalf of Playtime Co. Toy Factory. Yes, it must be in complete secrecy. This project should only be known about by those with the authority at Warren Batch and those with the authority here at Playtime." So from this first paragraph, we know that there's a project that they're working on, Playtime Co. and Warren Batch. As promised, you will be compensated very well for the secrecy, upwards of $100,000, keeping in mind that this is a ballpark figure. We're willing to provide the proper equipment needed for the excavation. However, the more independently you're able to work, the more compensation I can offer. We'd still like to see the lab completed in 12 months' time, but what's important is that it's done right. Let me know if these terms work for you. I'm happy to negotiate until we find something both parties can be happy with. So they're talking about an excavation, which means they're going to be digging down and building something. And they also said they'd like to see the lab completed in 12 months. If you guys don't know, the lab is where all of the Playtime Co. monsters were invented, and I'm 90% sure that's where the prototype is in the game. So for whatever reason, Mob Entertainment is sending these to people's houses right before Chapter 4 comes out, showing that maybe the lab is going to be a very important location in Chapter 4. But now I want to talk about this company. What exactly are they? Well, my theory is that this company is some sort of prison labor company. And from this note, we can obviously see that Playtime Co. and Warren Batch does not want the police or the FBI to know about this. And from this poster of the guy holding a crowbar, it does look a lot like a prisoner, not a construction worker, because he doesn't look very happy to be doing this job. And prison labor is pretty much where a company or a prison takes prisoners and then makes them work with no pay. And this actually is legal in the United States, but obviously killing children and turning them into these monsters isn't. And they're disguising it as a construction company so they don't get in trouble with the police or the FBI. But something else I want to bring up is how we saw this exact note in Chapter 2, talking about Warren Batch and the project they're doing with Playtime Co. And right as I was about to end the video, something just came out with this photo, but some of the people that Mob Entertainment sent this note to got a black light, put it on the note, and then found out that there was certain letters that were highlighted, these letters being CENTRAL, spelling out Central, which I don't really know what this could mean, but I'm sure it's only our first clue to what the Chapter 4 ARG will actually have, and the word Central will probably come into place later. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up this video. I really hope you guys did enjoy, and if you want to support the channel, please leave a like on the video. And I forgot to bring this up in my last video, but we recently hit 30,000 subscribers, which is crazy, and subscribe if you're excited for Poppy Playtime Chapter 4. Goodbye.